What's up, my Century Unit? It's the Century Man here, so back again with another classic Royal Rumble pay-per-view review. I know you're thinking, yeah, we're in February. By the time this review is recorded, the Royal Rumble season is officially over in its rearview mirror. I'm trying to get one more classic Royal Rumble review before it's too late, so in this video I'm going to review the 2006 Royal Rumble show at the American Airline Arena. Right now it's called the FTX Arena in Miami, Florida, on the 29th of January 2006. The attendance for the show was 16,000. This show received about 585,000 pay-per-view buys. I don't think it's true. I looked up on Wikipedia, then I look up on another site. One says about this show received about 560,000 pay-per-view buys. Then on Wikipedia it says 585,000 pay-per-view buys. It's basically one or the other. Anyway, the commentators for the show represent Raw. We had Joey Styles and Jerry the King Lawler. Styles is still filling in for JR, who's still recovering from the colon surgery. I don't know, he had cancer, not too sure. And then on SmackDown we got Michael Cole and Taz. So the first match to kick off the show, we got I think it's a Cruiserweight Open, a Invitational Cruiserweight Open. We got Kid Cash defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Nunzio, Funaki, Paul London, Jamie Noble, and Gregory Helms. Gregory Helms is the former Hurricane. He was a Raw guy, now he's a SmackDown guy, I'm guessing. I'll get to Gregory Helms later on. Anyway, the match was, I don't say it was a bad match. It was an okay match. Nothing special. Not notable. One more of the match, he had Paul London hit a shooting star press onto the other competitors outside the ring. That was cool. But besides that, this was a bit of a clusterfuck. You had Noble locking Funaki with the Dragon Sleeper Hold, and then Helms thrown Noble out of the ring, hit Funaki with the Shining Wizard to win this match, and became the new Cruiserweight Champion. At this moment in time, the Cruiserweight title is really the beginning of the end of the original Cruiserweight division for WWE. Because Ray is not part of the division, same as Matt Hardy, and I don't think Chavo was. I think he would end up part of that division, but at this moment in time, you got like crappy talent, you know, like Funaki and Nunzio. Kid Cash was not really getting over in WWE. You know, he was part of the 2005 One Night Stand show, and then he was on SmackDown, and then he got released. He was in TNA. I think he was X Division champion, but that reign never caught fire. So yeah, it was basically the beginning of the end of the Cruiserweight division. It's just really sad because they're getting outbeat by TNA's X Division. You had stars like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Chris Sabin. But yeah, this division was flopping. You know, it's very sad that the following year in 2007, the division was disbanded until a decade later. But I don't want to get into the whole 205 Live Cruiserweight division. That's another story for another time. Gregory Helms, you know, he was, yeah, like I said, he was formerly known as the Hurricane, and then he was, you know, ditched that gimmick, you know, and then he's trying to be all serious. That never really got him over. He held that belt until dropping the belt to Chavo Guerrero at No Way Out the following year in 2007. He held that belt for, I looked it up on Wikipedia. I think it was 385 days. Holy shit. I think he's the longest reigning Cruiserweight champion in the history of the original Cruiserweight title. Not that shitty purple belt, but the original Cruiserweight championship, you know, in both in WCW and in the WWE. He was the longest reigning champion. You know, I don't know, but yeah, like I say, it was the beginning of the end. It never caught. It's a damn shame how Gregory Helms never done big in WWE. I'm not saying he's like gonna be a world champion, but never been I don't know. He was IC champion. You know, I think he was hardcore champion He was cruiserweight champion, but never like a mid card guy, like a mid card champion, like an IC champion or a United States champion. He could do better, but I think the best thing for him, he didn't do much as Gregory Helm. Sorry, I'm stumbling by the way. He didn't do nothing as Gregory Helms. The best thing for him is coming back as the Hurricane in 2009, feuding with fucking Paul Burchill. That's another story for another time. So anyway, so the opener was okay. It was not the right way to kick off the pay-per-view. I feel like this match belonged on SmackDown, not on a pay-per-view that people spending a lot of money at the American Airline Arena. Yeah, right now it's the FTX Arena, in Miami. Let me drink before moving on to the next match. Drinking water, by the way. Anyway, so the next match, we got Mickie James taking on Ashley Masario with Trish Stratus as the special guest referee. Trish was the women's champion at the time. Mickie James was doing the whole stalker, fangirl, lesbian gimmick, They had this segment with Mickie telling Trish she loves her, it's just what it is, They will never do that storyline in today's WWE product because it's PG, lesbian gimmick, They teased it in recent years, but they're never going to do that anyway. So the match between Mickie and Ashley with Trish as the special guest referee, match sucks, by the way, she is the late Ashley Masario. The reason why I say late because recently in 2019, I think it was 2019, Ashley Masario dies. She died young. I think she died at the age of 40. Jesus, she died very young. I hate to speak ill of the dead. Ashley Masario, she cannot work in the ring. She is shit. Like in this match, she hitting Mickie with crappy kicks, crappy punches. She had that crappy tackle near the corner. It was just not that good. I feel like this is a throwaway. This is like some of these matches on the show is belong on Raw or SmackDown. Not really a pay-per-view worthy match. In the end, Mickie hit a crappy looking powerbomb onto Ashley. Trish did the 3 count for the win. And then Mickie did the whole hugging, Mickie James, That was funny. It's more about Mickie than this match, Mickie was getting over doing the whole, like I said, the fangirl stalker gimmick, lesbian gimmick, that really got her over. This was setting up the Trish Mickie match at WrestleMania 22. Mickie James turned on Trish Stratus. I'm guessing, Mickie kidnapping Ashley Masario and then framing Trish for raping, basically doing the whole rape storyline. Someone's attempt to rape, like Mickie dressing up like Trish, wearing a blonde wig, and pretending like she's gonna frame her for rape. That was fucking stupid. I get it. It's the ruthless aggression era. You're never gonna see this in today's WWE. Like I said, it's gonna be PG, and then Mickie turns on Trish, and Mickie wins the belt at WrestleMania 22, and the rest is history. They had the first match at New Year's Resolution in 2006. The reason why I'm reviewing this show because last year I reviewed New Year's Resolution 2006 and WrestleMania 22, trying to cover the rest of the road of WrestleMania 22 by pay-per-views. I'm not reviewing Raw and SmackDown at this moment in time. So I think the match at New Year's Resolution is basically testing the waters for for Mickie James. She can swim, but Mickie swim. She became a multiple-time women's champion. I'm guessing she became a 1 or 2-time Divas champion before leaving and coming back to the company. So let's moving on. I'm rambling, by the way. So it was a shit match. It was more focused on Mickie James. And speaking of another shit match, we got JBL with Julian Hall in his corner, taking on the Boogeyman. This is Boogie's first pay-per-view match. His real name is Marty White. He competed in the 2004 $1 billion Tough Enough. Unfortunately, he got himself disqualified because he lied about his age on his application. I think at the time he was about like late 30s, 30, 40, I think he was like in his late 30s, early 40s. You know, right now he's in his 50s, but you know, he got disqualified, but they end up signing him, and now he's the boogeyman. He's this creature eating worms. There was one episode on Raw, you had Cena trying to interview, he was feuding with Angle at the time. He saw Boogie, I think he was holding a clock and singing London Bridge is falling down, and then Cena, under his breath, said, "What the?" You know, the Boogeyman, he's one of the most scariest characters in pro wrestling, you know, and disgusting characters. His gimmick is just eating worms. The whole feud between, this is the major feud between not Booker T, Boogeyman and JBL is, you know, it's all about Jillian Hall, like on an episode, I think it was on SmackDown, like you had basically Boogie bitten off the fucking growth, the mole in Julian Hall's ear. That is disgusting. I know it's plastic, it's not real, but that is so disgusting to see Jillian with that growth on her ear. Yeah, it's more focused on Julian Hall than the actual match. Wow, JBL formed in 2006. Like, the previous year he was the reigning defending WWE champion, I think the longest reigning WWE champion in SmackDown history, to facing the Boogeyman. Holy fuck. Match sucked. Like I said, it's more focused on Boogie and Julian Hall. Like, yeah, JBL using Julian as a shield, and then Boogie there's one worm leaking out in his mouth and trying to put the worm in Julian Hall's mouth. That is so disgusting. Match sucked. Feel like this is not really a pay-per-view worthy match. In the end, you had Boogie hit, like, I think it was a pump handle slam or running power slam. I think it was a pump handle slam onto JBL for the win. This was his first pay-per-view win. And it didn't do nothing for Boogeyman, by the way. By the way, JBL, like at WrestleMania 22, he defeated Chris Benoit for the United States title. And then he challenged Rey Mysterio for the World Title at Judgment Day. And Boogie ended up facing Booker T at WrestleMania 22. I think it was a handicap match. And then Booker went on to win the King of the Ring, 2006 King of the Ring tournament. And then winning the World Title later on in the year. So what the fuck is that? So let's move on, by the way. So it's just, what the fuck is this? It's very debatable to say if Boogeyman is a crap gimmick or a good gimmick. It's a mixed bag, you know, 50-50. And then moving on to the 2006 Royal Rumble match. The winner faced the WWE or World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 22. The two guys starting the Rumble match were Rey Mysterio and Triple H. So I'm going to talk about the segments first before we talk about the Rumble match itself. You had Randy Orton and Triple H interacting for the first time since the World Title match at the previous year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Because at this moment in time, Triple H is still on Raw and Randy Orton's on SmackDown. They're kind of, you can say, trading insults, you know, they're trying to get their Royal Rumble entry numbers. Triple H looked at his number, he said, "Freedom and weep." He said to Orton, like, you know, he brings up, "I beat you for the title. You live in fantasy, I live in reality." And then he looked at his number, he was not pleased. He entered this match number 1, and Orton entered number 30. That was at the end of this match anyway, so that ended this match, but, you know, it was the last entry in this match. Anyway, he said, "You're screwed, blah, blah, blah." So, don't worry, they end up feuding, you know, in 2006, you know, in the end of 2006, you know, late 2006, early 2007, and then the end of 2007 itself, you know, they continue feuding until 2020, you know. They took a break, you know, after their feud in 2009. Anyway, so, you know, Triple H was shocked, you know, Norton got, like, he's got the easiest way to win it, and Triple H got the hardest, you know. I think, like, Rey Mysterio, and speaking of Rey Mysterio, there was another segment after, I think it was after the JBL Boogeyman match, you know, Rey entering the room with, you know, with the divas, you know, that's Victoria, Candice, Michelle, and Tori Wilson with Vince McMahon. I think it was after the the Mickey James Ashley match. So you had I think it's one or the other. Anyway, so Ray entered the room trying to get his Royal Rumble entry number. He kind of looked up the sky, said to Eddie, "Eddie, you got me," and then entering the match, driving Eddie's car, did the Eddie Guerrero like shoulder dance. Yeah, you got a lot of Eddie chants because it was recently, because Eddie passed away in November the previous year. It was still recent. I'm not gonna get the whole exploring the death of Eddie Guerrero. That's another story for another time. So he wants to win it for Eddie. He's his best friend. Anyway, they fought in Mexico, in WCW, Halloween Havoc '97. Anyway, so yeah, it's good to see Ray, entering the match, driving Eddie's car, did the Eddie taunt, he wants to win. So I mean and by the way, this is I think it's the first Rumble match not to be in the main event. I think the next time they did that was, in my knowledge, were Royal Rumble 2013. The main event of that show were CM Punk versus The Rock for the WWE Championship. Anyway, so the whole bulk of this match is between who carried the whole bulk of this match were Triple H and Rey Mysterio. So some of the pull of this Rumble match, you had crappy gimmicks, like Sylvain Grenier. He's doing the whole modeling gimmick because at this moment in time, La Resistance was officially over. You had the fucking coach. You had fucking Eugene at this moment in time. I'm not saying Eugene's had a crappy gimmick, but it's a bit. At this moment in time, I'm trying to say that his gimmick was starting to run its course. But yes, I think the all-time favorites of this Rumble match were Rey Mysterio, RVD, who came back after his knee injury, missed the whole bulk of 2005 due to his knee injury. He had the return of Goldust for the first time in years, I think. You had Tatanka, first time, he debuted, he returned in 2005, he was feuding with Eminem. Seeing, I think it's his first Rumble match since 95, I think, because he left in 95. He had first of many returns in the company, so it's good to see these. It's good to see these returns in this match. In the Rumble match, like RVD, Goldust, Tatanka, not Shockley, but good Royal Rumble returns. He had really good interactions, and also like you had Triple H interact with Ric Flair because they had that feud in the autumn of 2005. The steel cage match at Taboo Tuesday 2005, and then the Last Man Standing match at Survivor Series. And then the Big Show, they just fought at New Year's Resolution a couple of weeks ago. And then Shawn Michaels had that brief interaction between him and Triple H. That rivalry kicked off the Ruthless Aggression era. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, first time since 2004. It's funny, they end up reunited later on in the year to reform DX to feud with the McMahons. And then speaking of McMahons, because Vince wants Shawn to be eliminated from the Rumble match, so he had, I think he had the Eminem and Shelton Benjamin doing their favorites to eliminate Shawn, and I don't know if Shawn eliminate Eminem. I don't know. He eliminates Shelton Benjamin because at this moment in time he's doing the whole Mama's Boy gimmick. That's fucking stupid. Shawn Michaels super kicked or sweet chin music Shelton Benjamin outside the ring, and then Vince McMahon came out. It's funny that this is the second time he didn't really appear, but he like the previous year at the 2005 Royal Rumble match. He run down to the ring after both John Cena and Batista eliminate themselves, and then Vince came to the ring and ended up tearing both quadriceps muscles. Yeah, and this time around he's trying to distract Shawn Michaels, and then Shane McMahon came out of nowhere, eliminate Shawn. Shane was not officially in the Rumble match. That still continued the rivalry between Shawn Michaels and the McMahons. I think they inducted Shawn Michaels in the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. That continued. That set up the hardcore match at WrestleMania 22. Then the feud. Also, Shawn was feuding with the Spirit Squad. And speaking of the Spirit Squad, they were not in the match. They did their typical shtick. and you said like 29 will fall, blah blah blah. You never see one single member of the Spirit Squad in this match, so what's the fucking point? They were there for a cameo, and that was it. Anyway, so you had a good interactions with Booker T and Benoit because they were feuding over the United States title. The 7 match series. It's basically revive what they did in WCW in '98. I think Benoit eliminated Booker T. He was wearing tights. I think Benoit ended up defeating Booker T for the United States title, and then he ended up dropping the United States title to JBL at WrestleMania. He had a good interaction between Rey Mysterio and Psychosis because they had that match. They fought in ECW, in WCW, and also they fought in Mexico. The final 4 in this match were, and also like 2 guys should have stayed in this match longer, were Bobby Lashley and Ric Flair. Ric Flair, interacted with Triple H, did the whole punching, they poke each other in the eye, and Triple H eliminated Flair. That was a boot. They booed when Flair got eliminated, and then Bobby Lashley, he kind of basically left the Big Show. You can tell like they were grooming Bobby Lashley. He got eliminated by both the Big Show and Kane. It's funny that they ended up interacting again when ECW came back as the 3rd brand. December 2006 in that Elimination Chamber match. Never story, but never time. Anyway, the final 4 in this Rumble match were Triple H, Randy Orton, RVD, and Rey Mysterio. So, I think Mysterio eliminated the tall guys like Triple H, Orton, RVD. He didn't really do much. He was a bit quiet, This match was Triple H's best performance in the Rumble match. He won the Rumble match in 2002, but it was, you can say, I don't know, it wasn't his best. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but in this match, it was his best performance here. I think Ray lasted the whole hour. I'll get to that shortly. So it eliminates 7 in this Rumble match, same as Rey Mysterio. So Ray eliminated Triple H. Triple H got pissed off. He kind of like pulled Ray out of the ropes, out of the ring, trying to say, and thrown him into the steel steps. I don't think they had a match. Rey Mysterio and Triple H. I don't think they had a match. Probably had a match on Raw and SmackDown, but not a feud. It's a damn shame they never had a feud. Rey Mysterio and Triple H. It's a damn shame. And by the way, speaking of Triple H, he went on to face, he went on to be in the main event of WrestleMania 22. Go and watch my review of WrestleMania 22. It's on, just go on the playlist, the classic WWE pay-per-view review playlist, and you can probably find my review of WrestleMania 22. So anyway, Rey Mysterio ended up eliminating Randy Orton to win this match and become the winner of the 2006 Royal Rumble match. So I think it was the right call. And Rey Mysterio broke a record. I think he broke Chris Benoit's record. Lasted, the longest. He lasted the longest. And the next person broke that record is Daniel Bryan. I'm guessing in 2000. I think it's 2019, 2020, or 2021. It's one or the other. By the way, and also they kind of reference the 2004 Rumble match when Benoit lasted, the one. He's the third person to enter the match number 1 and win the whole thing. Shawn was the first one, then it's Benoit, then it's Mysterio. I think the latest guy who won, entering the match as number 1, I think it was Edge in last year's Rumble in 2021. So. And Edge confronted Rey Mysterio. You think you could do the loophole, do the same thing with Benoit, challenge me, go to Trader to Raw and, face me. Your fairy tale is gonna have a unhappy ending. Anyway, so, and I'm not gonna get into the whole. They ended up facing Randy Orton at No Way Out. They did the whole promo on SmackDown like. Eddie's not in heaven, he's in hell. Anyway, and speaking of Edge, we got the WWE Championship match. We got Edge with Lita in his corner, taking on John Cena. So at New Year's resolution in the start of January, start of the year, John Cena retained the title in the Elimination Chamber match at New Year's resolution 2006. And then suddenly Edge gave the briefcase to Vince McMahon. He was the first winner of Money in the Bank, cashing the briefcase on John Cena, beat Cena for the championship, and then on Raw, he did him and Lita did the sex celebration. I think it got a really good rating because sex sells. So the match, but by the way, Cena entering the match. You know, he came to the ring with he was on this type of scaffold. And speaking, let's talk about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view sets. That was cool. You know, I like the pay-per-view poster with the McMahons. You know, Finn, Shane, Stephanie, Linda wearing gladiator stuff. Ancient Rome. I like that. You know, you don't see that. Because in today's WWE product, because it's so bland. Um, you know, they don't. I wish they'd go back to doing pay-per-view sets. I like that pay-per-view set. The gladiator set on the entranceway. That is cool. See that? Yeah, came to the ring on a scaffold. Anyway, so the match between Cena and Edge. This was a good match. By the way, not the best one, the best bouts. Because the first one was just a short match. This was decent. They had bad matches. In the summer of 2006. Including the TLC match at Unforgiven in September of that year. So it was a good match. Back and forth. In the end, Lita trying to interfere. You could tell the fans were starting to turn on John Cena. Lita interfered. Edge accidentally knocked Lita off the ring apron. Cena locked in the STF onto the STFU at the time. And then Edge tapped out. Cena regained the WWE title. That was bullshit. That was bogus, man. Having Cena. What's the point? Edge catching the briefcase at New Year's Resolution and winning the title, and then a few weeks later he ended up dropping the title to John Cena. I don't get it. I think my theory is that they had lost. We really don't have any confidence of Edge headline WrestleMania as the world champion. It was a different. It's really funny that he ended up entering WrestleManias 24, 25, 27. He was in the world title matches in the next couple of years. But back then, he was never, he ended up facing Mick Foley in the hardcore match at WrestleMania 22. That was good. But, they ended up did the triple threat match at Backlash, in April. But him not entering WrestleMania 22 as the world champion, it was just a bit bogus for me. They set up, John Cena, Triple H to main event that show in Chicago. It's a bit bullshit, man, to be honest. A bit bogus, It was a good match, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Edge hit the spear, in my knowledge. I don't think, I don't know. It was a decent match, It's just wow, man. And also, there's one segment after this match, you had Todd Grissom interviewing Lita. She said, this is the emotional time. And then you got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He did the whole ho, because it's still fresh in our minds, the whole Edge, Matt Hardy, Lita thing. People don't really see Lita as a slut. Maybe back in 2005 because the affair was real, but seeing Cena give me a message to tell you ho, that's Jim Duggan's catchphrase, ho, with the 2x4, I think she got a lot of ho chants, back in 2005, 2006, but, times change, people, forgive Lita, it's just what it is, let's move on, so. Moving on to the main event, folks. Trying to keep it short and simple. We got Kurt Angle defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Mark Henry. By the way, Kurt Angle won the world title, the fake world title, in a battle royal on SmackDown after Batista fake hit the world title. I think it was the first SmackDown in 2006. I think it was a tag team title match. Yeah, he got tapped by Mark Henry. It was a tricep injury, or I think it was a tricep injury. He came back later on in the summer to face Mark Henry at the Great American Bash, by the way, so they did the battle royal to crown a new world champion. Kurt Angle, came from Raw to win this battle royal and become the next world champion. That's the reason why Gregory Helms, also gone to SmackDown. He was a Raw guy. Because he was not really doing anything on Raw. He was feuding with Shawn Michaels, and he fought John Cena for the WWE Championship. He was feuding with Eugene with the gold medals. You know, he was not really not utilizing his full potential on Raw. He was better off being the SmackDown guy. Anyway, so and Mark, yeah, he was a heel when he was on Raw, and then when he came to SmackDown, he was a babyface. At this moment in time, they kind of changed Kurt Angle's gimmick. You know, he's not dorky and goofy. But he's serious at this moment in time. He got that cool look. Mark Henry, man, like on SmackDown, he attacked him, pulling through the announce table to get some heat. This match between Angle and Mark Henry, match sucked. Henry came out with generic theme music, Thank God he changed his music to beat him up, beat him ass. Somebody's gonna get his ass kicked. That was a good theme music. Than this, it's so generic. Anyway, so and also you had he got a good reaction. Kurt Angle, the fans chanting "You suck, you suck," and also Kurt pointed to Mark Henry saying "You sucked," because Kurt is a babyface, Mark Henry's a heel. I don't get this match. If it was 2011's Mark Henry, that would be good. He was doing the whole Hall of Pain gimmick, but since it's 2006, you can tell that it was too soon. They were trying to push Mark Henry, but at this moment in time, people were not buying into it. Yeah, they're trying to push him, but he's always getting hurt. He struggled to get healthy. Anyway, so the match sucked. Yeah, Daivari used to be Kurt Angle's hype man, manager. This is after when they scrapped the whole Muhammad Hassan thing after Great American Bash in 2005. Feel sorry for Muhammad Hassan. You had Daivari being Kurt Angle's manager, Mark Henry's manager, and then later on, I think after after WrestleMania, he ended up managing the Great Khali. Another story for another time. Anyway, so yeah, you got a referee bump. You got Angle hitting Daivari in the face with the chair. I think he hit Mark Henry with the chair. I think he exposed like a turnbuckle. In the end, he kind of sent Mark Henry through the exposed turnbuckle with the toe hold and rolled him up for the win, and that was it. And retained the world title. And by the way, they ended up having a rematch at Judgment Day in May of that year, and that was not a bad improvement. Afterwards, and then you got The Undertaker came out, riding on a chariot, conjure up some lightning, and then the ring exploded, and then Taz go, holy shit, I know they blipped it on the network, but yeah, this was just setting up Kurt Angle, Undertaker for the world title at No Way Out the following month. So, anyway, so it's just what it is. So, Angle's facial reactions is shocking, he had that holy shit moment, like he's scared, but that's about that match at No Way Out the following month. So anyway, so my final rating for Royal Rumble 2006, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it 5.5, man. This is an underwhelming Royal Rumble show. The two matches in the good were, John Cena, Edge versus John Cena for the WWE title, and then the Royal Rumble match itself. That was, in my opinion, match of the night, but it doesn't make me I need to go back to watch Royal Rumble 2006. In the OK, you had the opener, the Cruiserweight Open Invitational, the 6-way match, it was okay. The bad is the bad, like Mickie James versus Ashley Masario, JBL versus the Boogeyman, and Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry, man. I wish if they tighten up this card, it might be a good show, but besides that, I'm not saying it's completely shit, but it was, I don't know, it was leaning into the shits, but it was a mixed bag of a show, to be honest. So if you watch this on the network, via Peacock, fuck Peacock. If you watch this on the network, I'd rather skip this show. The two matches you'd rather watch is, Edge Cena and the Rumble match itself. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of Royal Rumble 2006. Leave your thoughts and comments section below, smash the like button, click the bell, click the like, subscribe to the channel for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, finally, moving away from the Royal Rumble stuff, since I mentioned some things from No Way Out 2006, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, so the next time I'm going to review is No Way Out 2006, trying to end the road to WrestleMania 22. So this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.